Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany. Before giving birth, I did two videos. One was a diaper bag video and one was a hospital bag video. And I kind of wanted to combine both of those and do a revision on what I actually needed. And then also touch on some of the things I bought after the fact that I hadn't considered or I didn't think I needed, and then maybe some tweaks to the registry and that I wish I didn't buy, and then breastfeeding related items. So it's kind of a large list. I'm looking at notes if you're wondering what I'm doing. Let's get started with the diaper portion. So I had originally this Honest diaper bag. I think it was like $150, but it's a nice looking bag. You can hold it by one long strap, you can hold it by this little strap, and then you can adjust these to make it a backpack. It's not a ton of room, and there aren't a ton of compartments, and then it has this little tiny compartment in the back. I do use it, or if we don't really need to bring a ton of stuff, I'll bring that. The reason that it wasn't working is because we would bring bottles with us, and to keep the bottles cool, we had to get a small cooler, and that just wasn't fitting in that bag along with all the other items that we had. So I ended up buying these little plastic compartments to go in the bag to separate each, by theme, like feeding, clothing, etc. And those didn't fit in that bag either. So I wouldn't say I'm recommending this. This isn't even a diaper bag, but it's a Carhartt bag, and it has a cooler in the bottom. So if you need to bring a couple bottles and you want to fit ice packs in there, that's a great resource. Or if you want to bring drinks for yourself, I don't know. And then, it's just a giant backpack meant for adventuring as a large human. There are compartments. They have just these little ones where we usually put burp cloths, just things that we need quickly. He does spit up a lot, so we're frequently needing a burp cloth. The second thing I had on there was a wipes dispenser. Great. A pacifier case, yes. 2 burp cloths. I would say even for him, he spits up a ton, but 2 burp cloths are sufficient. Maybe 3 for him, and you're not gonna know if your baby spits up a lot until then. And I try to bring at least 4 to 6 diapers. I mean, you will gauge how many diapers your baby will need. So if you know, oh, we're gonna be on this long, he'll need this many diapers, he, she. I also bought this first aid kit. Yes, it's cute, it's compact. I think maybe that might be something you need a little bit later, but you can totally buy it now. I just don't usually bring it in our diaper bag unless we're bringing the Carhartt bag, which has extra room. In terms of nursing pads, I will get into that later, but I didn't end up needing those. But if you're breastfeeding, then you absolutely need those. The other thing I have is this travel sunscreen, which I think is great. And of course you can't use it until they're 6 months, but for sure I would say get it, or put it on your registry or something, or put a couple on your registry because they are so small, they hardly take up any room. I had a nail file in there, and I don't think you need a nail file in your travel bag. Of course, I'm talking about traveling to the doctor, traveling, we went to the aquarium. We don't need to file his nails on our way to the aquarium. So I wouldn't think that's an urgent thing that you need to keep in your diaper bag. A mini diaper cream applicator, yes, I would include that. A sound machine, if you want. For some reason, if he's sleeping elsewhere, it's not like he can't sleep without the sound machine. So that's really kind of something that you'll gauge later on. A changing pad, yes, for sure. I had one that came with the Honest diaper bag, so I put that in the Carhartt bag, except it's just like not the best quality. So if I were you, I'd probably put a folding changing pad on my registry and get like a legitimate one. Oh, I put, mommy baby bags. Oh yeah, okay. So these are just little canvas bags that I found on Amazon, mommy and baby bags. And I don't use the baby one because it's all baby stuff. But I do use the mommy one, and I put all of the things that would go in my purse in that bag, and then I put it in the diaper bag. And when I don't need the diaper bag, like if I'm going to work, I just put that same little tote, canvas tote, in my purse. So I'll always know that I have, you know, my wallet and my keys, etc. Diaper cream, yes. One thing I learned, and this could completely be my fault, but I wanted all Honest Company products, and I got the Honest diaper cream, and he had this terrible rash. It wasn't caused by the Honest diaper cream, but the rash was so bad. I didn't know what to expect with rashes, and I kept applying this Honest cream over and over and over, and it seemed like it was getting worse, and I was really freaking out. And then I ended up getting desitin, and I'm pretty sure that it fixed it. I'm not trying to knock the Honest Company, but I don't think I'll be buying that diaper cream just because I didn't feel like it worked for my one instance, and why would I, you know, waste money to do it again? These disposable bags for your diapers, they are great. I use them, I actually even use them at home. He has, you know, if he has not an accident, if he goes to the bathroom and if he poops, okay? If he poops, I pull one of those out because everything's runny, and it helps me to like not get stuff on his changing pad or his diaper caddy or the wall. It just kind of keeps everything, and he only poops once a day. Hand sanitizer, yes, I use the hand sanitizer all the time. Nipple cream, again, for the same reason as the nipple pads. No, I didn't end up using them, but you very well probably will need them. And then I bought a cooler, and as I said, it didn't fit in that diaper bag. Got the Carhartt backpack, and it does have a cooler in it, so that's great. I did long and short onesies. Oh, the other things I include in my diaper bags are just a little travel fan and a hat, and I also have sunglasses for him, but I mostly use the hat. This is what I was talking about with the separate little plastic bags. I just got these on Amazon. They were cheap, and they're also cheap quality. I feel like I've only opened and closed these a couple times, and they're not holding up. One of the zippers broke, so maybe invest in some better ones. Now I'm moving on to the hospital bag. I bought this Jaden bag, and I would say it's great. It worked great. It was a great size. It was inexpensive. Yes, I would say for sure get that bag. And the toiletry bag that I'll bring up a little bit later. Yes, phone charger for sure, you'll need that. Coming home outfit, yes, if you want to. I mean, that's obviously a personal choice. I brought one of those little Hello World information things where you put their name on it and how much they weighed and the date and all that stuff, but I didn't even use that. I don't know, I bought a bunch of those little circular wooden things, and like just placing him on his lap, I hate it. I don't like how the pictures look. Makes me feel bad that I'm just like setting it on him, and I have no idea why. It's not because it's too heavy or anything. Okay, so anyway, the toiletry bag, yes, I would recommend getting that toiletry bag, or bringing one if you already have one. Don't buy one. And then everything in it I used. So real quick, loofah, toothbrush, shower cap, multivitamins, the prenatal vitamins, scrunchies, body wash, razor, deodorant, makeup remover, a brush for your hair, contact solution I mentioned in my previous video. Obviously you don't need that if you don't have contacts. And then floss and toothpaste, yes. So other things I brought him hats, and I didn't need those because they put hats on the baby. I mean, at my hospital they did. I also didn't need socks, and I also didn't need mittens. That might depend on the time of year. I gave birth in March, so it wasn't hot. He just didn't need socks or mittens, and then they provided us with hats. They even have, at my hospital, they had these donated crocheted hats that some women create just for the hospital, so I have one of those that I saved. Disposable underwear. I was provided these underwear or a similar type of underwear at the hospital, but they were huge. And I'm not talking like size wise, they were like thick, like really thick. So these disposable underwear that I brought, they were great. They just slipped on, they felt like regular underwear, whereas the other ones felt like you were wearing a diaper. The other thing I did too was I put a pad in too. So I was wearing the disposable underwear, and then I also had a pad that was provided by them. So if you want to bring pads with you, that might be beneficial. The other thing is the hot and cold ice to hot packs that you can put in your underwear. Those were also provided by my hospital, but I brought my own and I didn't use either. They hurt me. I don't know if I was using it wrong, but it just felt really, really cold to the point where it didn't even help me. But I guess that all depends on what kind of delivery you have. Socks and flip-flops were recommended. I brought both. The socks with the grips. I would say for sure the socks with the grips. In terms of flip-flops, I never wore mine. Another thing, I did not use the swaddle I brought. They always were swaddling him in the blue and pink swaddles that every hospital gives you. I brought a robe for myself. I didn't use that. I brought these pajamas that were satin and they were really slippery, and my baby was like slipping off of me and his spit up was rolling off of me and onto the ground. So I would just recommend regular cotton pajamas. Oh, I did not need nursing bras because, as I mentioned, breastfeeding did not work out for me. So I didn't end up needing the nursing bras. And then also, I'm very insecure about my body. Once you get there, it's like they don't care. They see everything and you have to keep trying to breastfeed and all this other jazz. So I would just wear my pajamas open and then I would just pull my blanket up when someone walked in. So I really don't even think I wore a bra the whole time I was there. And then a Perry bottle for sure. I would definitely get that. It's my husband's toiletries. I would bring those if I were you. I bought one of those pre-packaged ones at Target that already has like men's toiletries. We only live 10 minutes from the hospital, so we really didn't end up needing it. I would say if you live far away from the hospital, absolutely bring it. I think he did end up using a toothbrush or something. So, I mean, what's the harm, especially if you got a huge bag. And then for sure, this has nothing to do with the hospital bag, but don't forget your car seat. Don't forget to have it installed before you think you're potentially gonna go into labor. It's important. Okay, and then now I'm gonna get into what I bought after the fact. Sleep sacks. I ended up getting sleep sacks, meaning the ones with the arms out and, you know, basically just a large blanket. At the hospital, they recommended to swaddle with arms out, so that's what we did, and I'm glad we did because we didn't have to do a transition to arms out. But I would say just purchasing those sleep sacks early on, then they would last you the whole time, versus I bought a bunch of swaddles that weren't great for arms out and then ended up purchasing sleep sacks. Fragrance-free shampoo and lotion. I didn't know the rule about not doing fragrances in shampoo or lotion, so I bought a ton of, again, Honest Company stuff that had fragrance in it, and I then bought, you know, some fragrance-free stuff. The other thing I got was a baby scale. He had jaundice when he was born, and so there was a concern about making sure he was gaining weight steadily. I bought a baby scale for peace of mind and to limit the amount of times I was thinking we should go to the pediatrician to make sure he was gaining weight. If there's no reason to worry, then absolutely not. But if you find that there's a reason to pay attention to the weight gain, I would say for sure just purchase that. I feel super naive for not knowing this. I feel like I did so much research for my registry and I did not know that you needed a car seat bumper for a newborn. I thought that my Graco Mode's car seat would have that and it did not. So I'm coming home from the hospital and we put him in as like little necks flapping. I felt like such a failure already. So yes, include one of those on your registry. The next thing I ended up getting, which is totally a personal choice, but when we were at the hospital, they did the hand or no, they only did footprints, and it was on a piece of yellow paper that someone wrote on with their sloppy handwriting. I ended up getting at Amazon these frames that had perfect little slots for your hand and footprints, and then they come with these like little ink pads that don't get any ink on your baby's hands or feet, so it's very easy to do. And then it came with little extra cards, so we just did a bunch of them for the grandparents. I don't know what other hospitals do, so it really kind of depends on your hospital. The next thing I ended up getting was, I had a bunch of crinkle books, but they were all contrasting black and white ones, and he would just hate them. He would look at them, but then he would immediately get bored. But I found out a little too late that he loved little finger puppet books. So I have one with a little taco. There's a lot of those tiny books with like the little one puppet that works through the whole book, and he really liked those, so that would be something I would recommend. So those are things that I bought after. Things I would recommend for your registry. I had 2 crib sheets and 1 changing pad sheet, but I would definitely recommend getting 2 of each. 2 crib sheets, 2 changing pad sheets, because with spit up and accidents while you're changing, you're gonna be washing that over and over. So I wouldn't go overboard. I'm sure people have a lot of them, but I think 2 is probably sufficient. You're a gorgeous man. You are such a gorgeous man. I love you with all my heart and soul. I would put on my registry the swaddle variety pack, the pacifier variety pack, and the bottle variety pack, because he gravitated towards a certain kind of pacifier and not the other, so the other were a waste. I would say for diapers, like I only put a couple, like maybe a couple boxes of wipes, I think, on my registry. And I would probably put ones as the diapers if you want to ask for some. Hang on, I can't. Why am I saying hang on? Oh, I said hang on. It's not a phone call. I would just stock up on wipes. So put like a bunch of wipes. You'll need wipes. They don't come in a certain size. So I would say stock up on wipes. I would say for the size, if you want diapers, put a 1. Don't put like a ton of newborn. And newborn, like everything else, you can order on Amazon. If you don't have Amazon, you can, unless there's a shortage of diapers, which there was for formula, run out and get some newborn diapers. But don't stock up on all this newborn stuff if you don't know for sure. You know, of course you're not gonna know for sure. You don't know for sure what size your baby's gonna be. Well, some people do. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off track. And then I did not put a pack and play, though I saw on every single website. I saw it on everyone's registry. I didn't get it because we have a small house, but like one day we got a new roof and I had to take my baby and my dog so they wouldn't be disturbed by all the noise to my parents' house. And luckily we had purchased a pack and play because we set it up there and we just left it there. I would say for sure get a pack and play if you can swing it. Okay, so that should have, wait, I didn't even go over my registry yet. Okay, so I'm just trying to do this before I need to feed him. Okay, so now that I've told you what you should have in your registry, now I'll tell you what I had on my registry. Okay, so the swing, I got a swing. It's a Graco swing, and I think I got the cheaper one. I don't remember what it was called. Like, it's not light, but it's called something. Snuggle Me Lounger, and I would say I personally didn't need this, and it was because at first all he wanted was to be held, and so if I put him in that little thing that looks like a glorified dog bed, he hated it immediately. I don't know if I missed my window for, you know, him liking the lounger, but I know if I put him in there now, he would just cry. So I think for the price, I would say don't bother. We got the baby Bjorn bouncer, which for sure I would recommend. He loves that bouncer. We got the little toy attachment, and he at first, like, you can move the toy attachment up by his hands or down by his feet, and he just would kick, and he loved kicking that and making the rattle make noise. And now that he's using his hands more, we put it up towards where his hands are and he uses it then. The Lovevery play gym, I looked at so many different play gyms and I just visually liked the Lovevery one. It seems like there's a lot of research that's put into it. It is a more expensive play gym. I like it visually the best, so I would recommend it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You could probably get away with just getting a cheaper one. I think it's a Skip Hop, has a really cute play gym too. That's maybe a fraction of the cost. And that one looks nice as well. It's not like they're gonna work or not work. It's not, you know, there's nothing functioning on it. So we did the up seat, which he's just starting to use now, and it's great. The little tray makes it great for him to like pick what he wants to play with, so you can put little things on the tray versus like I'm handing him stuff and shaking it and trying to see what sticks. Definitely a wipe dispenser. I saw everywhere that you don't need a wipe warmer, and I didn't get one and it never became a problem. Obviously he doesn't know. Yikes. No, really? Here, do you want to play with this butterfly? Ooh, nope, 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 no butterfly. Stroller organizer, absolutely. I would definitely, I use it all the time. They have some cooler ones, but this one is like inexpensive, and what's the difference? You definitely need car seat shades, so definitely put car seat shades on your registry. A car mirror, absolutely, no brainer. Multi-use covers, I would say yes, but there are probably cheaper ones than I got. I put them over his car seat when it was a little bit cold, so that was perfect for taking him out and about. But and really out and about means to the doctor. So the ones that are good for your car seat, or they're good for nursing, like if you're nursing, I'm sure those are like a lifesaver. Baby carrier, absolutely. We use that all the time. Bottles, like I said, I would do the Swaddle variety pack if you can find those anywhere. If you're using Baby List, they have those for sure. Bandanas, he spits up all the time, so bandanas are great for catching the spit up and not having to change his clothes all the time. I put 2 teethers and 2 rattles. I think that's good. I would say you probably don't even need to put those on your registry. They're not gonna need them for a little bit, and those are things that you could get at Target or Amazon like very easily. A high chair, he's not in a high chair yet, but absolutely put that on your registry. I got the silicone bibs instead of, you know, the cloth ones, so that we can just quickly wipe them out. I put 2 on my registry. I got a drying rack, so it's the one that looks like grass, and we use it all the time. I would definitely recommend that. The things that I had on my registry that I didn't use are a dishwasher basket. We just kind of wash them by hand, and then a haka, and that's only because the breastfeeding didn't work out. I put Phillips bottles on there. Those were kind of difficult for him. So again, that's why I would suggest the variety pack. I got my best friend. I would say, even if you're breastfeeding, I'd almost hold off. I hope this doesn't just steer anyone wrong, but maybe hold off on investing in a breastfeeding pillow until you get home and try your own pillows, because I had my best friend, and it's not the reason that my breastfeeding didn't work, but it's a lot of money to invest in something that you might be able to finagle at home. And then Burt's Bees burp cloths I had those on my registry. I love them so much. They are super absorbent, unlike a lot of the other burp cloths, and I ended up getting more of them, so absolutely I would recommend those. I had the Easy Peasy food set, and again, he's still not ready for solids, so I mean, I can't really say yes or no, but I would say it's for sure probably important to have on your registry. I got a lot of the Skip Hop Moby stuff, so the bath toy storage, which we just keep like all of the accessories in that. The Moby tub I love so much. We obviously use it all the time to bathe him, and it's perfect. And the accessories that go with it, are great. We ended up getting 2 hooded towels for him. That has worked out just fine. A duck thermometer. I love that little duck. Ubbi, I think it's called. Pail and bags. That's what we use for our diaper pail. I love that pail. And the bags are scented and it smells fantastic. Diaper caddy. I love the diaper caddy we have. It fits perfectly on top of our dresser, his dresser. And the Hatch sound machine, we started using that before he was even born, and we were like, we love this sound machine, how can we live without this sound machine? So it lights up and it's a sound machine, so for sure would recommend it. I mean, if you want, there's probably other cheaper alternatives. A Frida humidifier, we have not used that humidifier. Again, I would say play it by ear and then buy it later unless you really think you're gonna need it, depending on your climate. And then put it on your registry so you know you don't have to buy it later. But that's just what our experience was. Now, we got the Infant Optics monitor, but we also bought a Nanit monitor on our own. So the one we put on our registry was the Infant Optics, and I'm so glad we did. And my reason for that was because I saw someone else's video where they said that the Nanit was great, but you don't have a separate monitor. So if you want to, like, if you're looking at your phone for, you know, Instagram or whatever, you can't see, you have to open the app to see your baby, versus this extended, like, little old-fashioned monitor that that you'll be able to look at all the time. If you wanted 2 monitors, maybe not go as far as the Nanit. Just get a regular, like, wall-mounted app-based monitor, and then get the Infant Optics one or a similar one, or even a cheaper one that just has the monitor. If there are ones that have both, please let me know and I'll put it down below. That I did not find anything like that, and I feel like I did a lot of research. Then the Frida set, I don't know what it comes with. I think it comes with, I'll just put it up here. I've used all of those, so absolutely. I got the Kinza thermometer, which also comes with an app. I think that's so important, just like keeping the app, logging it, it's all in one place versus like having to write it down somewhere. That's been awesome. And then one thing that my mom got us was these like well, I had it on my registry, and the reason I said my mom is because it wasn't anyone else, but so she doesn't care if I say this, but these alphabet cards, like, we do use them, but they're a huge purchase. I think you could DIY something similar, you know, just like using white printer paper, cutting it in half, and then putting like a giant A with a big thick Sharpie, a giant B. Like, these are things that you can make on your own, and you don't need to spend, you know, that much money on that kind of stuff, because, you know, visually they just want to see contrasting images. He was happy just looking at the ceiling fan or looking at, you know, a light fixture. He doesn't do that now, but like at the beginning, he just saw an object on a large white canvas, so that was stimulating for him, and that costs, well, it costs money, but nothing, you know, on my registry. Okay, and then finally, phew, the things that I wish I didn't buy. I bought PPTPs because he's a boy, and I was thinking, and I know he had like a couple accidents at first where we'd pee and then we had to like dart out of the way, but you're not gonna grab the PPTP fast enough. I don't think you should put a PPTP on every time, because you don't know if he peed in it or not sometimes, and so then you're just washing these. There's no like good way to store them. I would not recommend those. I was like, had so much brain fog after the first like 2 weeks after he was born. I, for some reason, was like, oh, let's buy a bunch of cheap bottles. I don't even know if I need to say this, because many people probably don't think to do something so stupid, but then we just ended up donating all these like cheap bottles. As far as pregnancy, I had a ton of raspberry leaf tea. I never drank any of it, so that was a waste. I got an exercise ball. Nothing. I'd never used that once for anything. In the hospital, they'll probably have either the exercise ball or the peanut ball, and they had the peanut ball at my hospital, and I didn't even use it. And then as far as breastfeeding, like I said, use a regular pillow at first would be my suggestion. I wish that I had early on bought one of those hands-free pumps. I remember seeing the LV, I think it's called, and it was so expensive. Almost done. Can you stick with me just a little longer? Can you please stick with me just a little longer? I'm rushing. Okay. I wish I would have gotten a hands-free pump from Amazon, because there's like there's a much cheaper version. It probably would have like saved me some sanity. And then same for bras. I wish I would have bought the bras that you can stick your pump in the bra itself, and so you'd have your hands free rather than like holding up these pumps, and that might have made the whole experience a little bit easier. And then also, I wish I would have given lactation snacks a shot. I ended up giving up breastfeeding shortly before the formula shortage. Wonderful timing. I think if I would have given it, again, I said I had a lot of brain fog. He had jaundice, so he was just falling asleep all the time. Every single time I tried to breastfeed him. And then because of the jaundice, we were feeding him every 2 hours, and like, it was costing me my sanity, and it was just going on for weeks and weeks. And so like I said, it didn't work out. In hindsight, I wish I would have done more prep work. I was so prepared with my registry, with my diaper bag, with my hospital bag, with learning things for him. I wasn't as prepared for breastfeeding. I just thought, oh, I'm big chested, that'll be easy. Oh, women have done it since the beginning of time. How hard could it be? And I just feel like really understand. And I thought, like, why would I go to a class? It's not like they have a baby that they're gonna stick on your boob and you're gonna like learn. I just think I was naive. So if I were you, I'd do all the prep work that you can to learn what breastfeeding is about, so you're 100% prepared. And I would say the same thing for labor and delivery. I again was like, I've known, you know, so many different kinds of women my whole life, and they've all, you know, gotten through it. And I had a totally like crazy experience, which is for another day. But I think I wish I would have, I don't know, it's like almost like you can't be prepared, because someone could tell you a million different scenarios and none of them might happen, and all of them might happen, and one might happen and not the other. So, you know, it's kind of hard to like really be prepared for that. But just know, like, you'll know if you have contractions. I was like, oh, my pain tolerance is so high, there's no way I'm gonna know. It's terrible. I'll tell the story another time. But anyway, just do your homework about breastfeeding and labor and delivery, and that is it. He's probably gonna start crying any second. So I hope this was really helpful. I know I talked really quickly, but this is just a lot of stuff. I watched so many videos, and it's like, I don't know, I'm sure this kind of video is out there, but like, I was just not finding it. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you for watching if you watched all the way to the end. And please consider subscribing if you liked what you see, and check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.